I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Super Bowl Monday. The week is finally here as everyone descends upon NOLA. Oh, man, we're inside a week before Super Bowl Sunday and the Birds, Chiefs. Wow, now it's getting real. Now you're starting to feel it. Like we got through this weekend. It was a difficult weekend without football. It was a difficult weekend just kind of looking at the hours as the tick-tock started to pass. And now we're inside Monday, right? We're here. And we got the great buildup leading to Sunday. Oh, my God. And it's funny. Over the weekend, I was texting a bunch of people and guys in the league, outside the league, the whole thing. And everybody, it's amazing the consensus, because I talked to a bunch of coaches and some GMs, scouts around the league, and the consensus was that the Eagles are better, but the Chiefs have Andy, Spags, and Mahomes. And it was exactly that. It was like, if I told you, I'll give you an example. One guy who's a coach in the league, we were going back and forth. I was like, so what do you think? Like, how do you assess it? Like, because I'm making a case for, the Eagles O-line and the run game with Barkley and the whole idea of this defense and what this defense is going to do. The fact that they have Carter up front, right in the middle to create havoc, Bond, and then the secondary, because I keep going back to the secondary, and those three, you got three levels of playmakers on the Eagles defense. So the Eagles defense being that good and Eagles O-line, and the fact that they match, right? We talk about offense and defense meshing together, right? Like they always talk about marrying your offense and your defense in the style. And nobody does it better in the league than the Eagles do. So I'm making this case, and he's like, everything you're saying, I agree with. Except they got Mahomes. And like these are coaches and guys who make a living in the league, in the game, who just go, yeah, they got Mahomes. And there was a lot of Andy love and Spags love, as you could well imagine. And will they, and that's what I think this is what the game comes down to, right? The Eagles have a decisive advantage in the trenches, certainly along their offensive line and on defense. But can Kansas City, and this is what it comes down to, it's going to be a coach's game, right? Is Reed, Reed's going to show stuff that he hasn't put on film. So he's going to try to keep Fangio off balance. What we know from Vic is Vic will start the game and kind of vanilla. He'll be in his base. He'll see what they're trying to do, and then he'll call his game. It's not so much adjustments as though the calls. He's got to get a beat on an offense. So then it's going to be like, well, all right, what does Andy do to counteract that? Does Andy try to keep them off balance with stuff that he hasn't shown at all on film? My guess is there'll be a lot of that stuff. Then defensively, well, how does Spags handle Barkley and the run game, right? Because we know about loading the box and what that does with Barkley. And, and sooner or later, you load the box, he's going to get loose, and it's going to be a home run. Does he try to, because what I would do is I would not load the box. I would try to have my safeties and linebackers kind of flow the football, and I would play it like the Eagles play on defense, which is I'm not attacking unless it's third and long. And if you're going to try to matriculate down the field, then go ahead. I'll live with it. Because if I were a defensive coordinator, I'd be afraid of giving up the big play to Barkley. Yeah, I might win a couple plays. Like, I might go and stop him for 2 or 3, but sooner or later he's gonna just scorch you. That's Saquon. He's gonna scorch you. So the chess match of this game is so interesting. I did my Fox show, national show on Saturday, and I know there's a lot of Eagle hate and Chiefs fatigue, but if you strip away the teams, we're obviously going bananas, but nationally, if you're a real football fan, you gotta love the chess match here. And then it's Mahomes. Like, is Mahomes going to make magic? Right? That's going to be the whole key to this game. It's the Eagles, who are a better team. And remember, trying to stop, and listen, I love Spags. I know him forever, right? But good luck trying to stop that O-line, Barkley, A.J. Brown, right? That's the triangle. So Hurts' legs, Barkley, A.J., and then you got Devontae and Goddard as support. That's been unstoppable all year long. How is that going to change? The only times they've lost, is when all of them haven't been in the game. Hurts or AJ or Devontae. But all together, they have not lost. And I don't think that's going to happen Sunday. I don't think you can beat them. The minute this game happened, I had an initial fear, and then I was like, I feel great about it. I feel great about Sunday. Good morning, VG. Happy Super Bowl Monday.
Happy Monday. Super Bowl's here. The city's alive. The city's confident. The vibes are high. And just like you, man, the city, everywhere you look, they're like, we're the better team. We feel good.
It's a weird
air of confidence we got going on.
And it reminds me of 2018.
Yeah.
In 2018, there was an air of February of 2018. There was an air of confidence that the city had. There was a lack of angst.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that day, that morning, waking up, and we were doing the show from PHLY.
Great show.
On Chestnut Street.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. We're going to try to replicate that
nice
on Friday.
Cool.
I think we're going to talk to the people, Ricardo at PHLY, and we'll see if we can make that happen.
That'd be great.
Because I'm thinking Friday might even be better because it'll be a lot of action in town. Everybody will be there.
All right.
We can pack the joint with a lot of all kinds of EAGLES. But we'll see if we can make that happen. We'll have announcements tomorrow on where we're going to be, and of course on social media.
Cool.
But there's an air of that morning. There was an air of confidence. I think we all felt they were going to win, and I feel the same way. I have that same feeling. I know they're good, and I respect them as much as anybody, if not more. The Eagles are better, and the formula is better.
It's a proven winning formula.
Right.
I'm curious, like what you mentioned in your opening, I'm curious, almost do you think Spags is almost like, listen, Saquon's going to get his. If we keep him under 150, we're good and make someone else beat us. We don't give him 250, 225.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of how, I would play it. If I'm Spags, I'm not going to go crazy run blitzing. They got good linebackers and decent safeties, right? I wouldn't do that.
It hasn't worked for anybody.
It hasn't.
No,
and they've
been disastrous for everybody.
They've been explosive, like the Rams, all those teams, Washington, everybody that's tried to crowd. Look at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right? The only one who had a modicum of success was Baltimore. And not, and they still lost.
Mm-hmm. It's curious, man. It's almost like a Jordan rule. Jordan's going to get his. Don't let anyone else beat us. I'd be curious to see that happen.
The problem is that you got Hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the wild card because of Hurts' legs. Hurts is the big problem defending. Barkley's so much better in the run game because of Jalen's legs and then the ability. Now I'm hoping that Kellen Moore does a lot of RPO and RPO tempo.
Okay.
Because I like to go on the attack
Do you like the RPOs a little more than like play action? You want to see some play action, or
Jalen's way better RPO play action. He is.
He's more comfortable.
He's way better RPO play action. You got to get the RPO game churning, and then you use tempo, and then the play action. Then he's got all day to throw. With the RPO play action, because you sell it better, you're not going to sell. He's not under center a lot, so it's not like you're. What's the goal of play action? Right? To freeze the defense, to get a tick. They don't do so. You do it the way you're used to doing it with RPO. Then you're going to get the tick. He's going to try to crash you, and then you hold it back. It's going to be up to Jalen to read everything.
Ah, you feeling good about that?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
He's used to it. Listen, he's comfortable in the RPO. I would go like tempo is a big deal. When they're rolling tempo, they're unstoppable.
Well, it's there are players who, if you have no time to think, you know what I mean, just go. You get into a rhythm, and
that's the thing. Jalen's most effective when it's first read. Boom, ball out. AJ over the middle on a crosser, ball out. AJ manned up on the outside, drop it in the bucket.
Love the bucket.
Boom. What am I reading? Who's crashing? All right. Am I keeping it? Am I pitching it? Am I throwing it? You just got to be careful for the illegal man downfield.
Yes.
That's the only thing. And if there isn't going to be a flag like that hurts us, the Chiefs thing, it'll happen on the illegal man. Mark my words. It'll happen on the illegal man downfield. Because that's the big difference from 2 years ago when they met the last time. They changed that rule.
What's the over-under? 1.5. Over-unders.
It all depends on, the rest.
We should do a spread on what is the spread of penalties. What's the discrepancy in penalties? Is it going to be a plus 4.5?
Eagles are 1.5 favorite.
Dude, they're going to get like 4 more penalties than the Chiefs.
But the Eagles aren't a heavily penalized team.
Yeah, you can find a hold anywhere you want.
The hold on every play.
Yeah.
There's a hold on every play.
But they're not a heavily penalized team.
Yeah. I don't even want to worry about that because we're good. Everyone feels. I was out Friday, Saturday night. Man, everyone's singing the fight song. I went to a private birthday party, packed 100 people. They sang happy birthday and transitioned right into the fight song.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. It's bonkers out there around town.
No, you know what I love? Is everybody's using the green lights.
Yeah.
On their houses.
Yeah.
There's green lights everywhere. Oh, it's awesome.
We put one in.
You did?
Yeah, our front light is a green bulb.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm hoping by the end of the week, right, that everybody's got green lights up.
Yeah.
And that you do a shot from space.
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
And then you see that
green glow.
Right.
The green flood.
I want the whole Delaware Valley, right, ablaze in a green glow.
Yeah.
How freaking cool would that be?
Dude.
Joey Moreau, tell your father to bathe your house in green.
We got a little NASA shot from above.
Right?
A little satellite
Right?
imaging.
I mean, how cool would that be?
It looked like an alien invasion with all the green glowing.
I love the city
I got to
already.
do it. I got to figure out a way to do that.
Dude, the LED lights now, I have LEDs in my house. You can change them to any color. They're fantastic. My whole house glows green.
I want to go to Home Depot's got that. Kill that. Ace Hardware has that. The ones, the floodlights?
Yeah.
That flood you green?
Yeah.
Like there is a, you know what's interesting? There is a house across the street from me. The guy's an architect. He's got, God bless him, right? Does well. The house is amazing.
He's got Mike Brady money.
Oh my God. He's got everything bathed in green.
Oh, it's awesome.
Nice.
It's awesome.
It's unbelievable. Like the whole, it's systematically.
Like if you have
the whole property's in green. Like, oh my God.
You got those like little floodlights that illuminate the front of your house, and that's all green. That'd be badass.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Put them on a couple timers. They pop up right when it gets dark out.
Right?
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, everybody. Let's go,
Let's get green headlights. All our cars have green headlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Like there's nothing like this town. Whenever when everybody's freaking out over this game.
He's got green lights.
Does he?
Yeah.
Johnny Marks, get in here.
Johnny Marks
get
has
in
green
here.
lights.
He's got a
light guy.
suburban spread.
Yeah.
Happy Super Bowl Monday, Johnny Marks.
What's up?
So let me ask you a question.
He's bathed in green himself today.
What I want to do is, you know what I love? I don't know if people in your neighborhood have this, Johnny Marks, but the houses are now bathed in green, right? Green lights.
No?
I've seen this. I've seen it all over the place. No way. I like that jacket. Looks good on you, buddy.
It's a working man's brand.
So my neighbor has the green light, but it's always there.
All right.
It shines on the house.
Yeah.
All right, so go to Ace Hardware and get a green floodlight. Like probably get a couple of them, probably cost, $30. All right? But imagine if we had all the homes, right, from the city to the suburbs exuding the green light. And then you have the shot from space. And all you see is the Delaware Valley bathed in green. How freaking cool would that be?
Can we just buy, can we get bulk at this point and just send people around selling them?
Hand them out.
There you go. Yeah.
Listen, we're going to go to the street. Yeah, he's got to make a few dollars. Come on, man.
Go Birds.
What do you think, man? How you feeling?
I was saying this earlier. I don't know if I've been starting a week without being overconfident dude. I feel great about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be overconfident, disingenuous dude. But they have a better team. They have a better roster. The Chiefs are very good, and the Chiefs can win this game. Of course they can. These are two great teams, two well-coached teams. Their defense scares me. The way Spags blitzes the secondary and whatever, it could come down to one play, one turnover, whatever. I feel great about this game. They say Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts has shown that he can throw the ball. Devontae Smith's done well in his career against the Chiefs. I feel great. Without being overconfident, but I feel great.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean. Like, the last thing you want is going out they're I'm with it because that gets on my nerves too. Right. But I feel this. I've started the show the same way. There is a calmness.
Yeah.
There is a confidence. And I purposely did this all weekend long because getting people as guests is a pain in the ass, right? Like, so I've texted literally, I got 200 people, right, around the NFL. So, and while I'm texting, I'm like, what do you think? Give me a little thumb. Just doing a little kind of self kind of thing. Everybody says the same thing. Eagles are more talented, but Mahomes, Andy, Spags.
Yep.
Right? Coaches, GMs, scouts. Eagles are more talented. Because I make the case, hey, look, up front, man, Eagles O-line, best O-line in football, right? Barkley, we know. A.J. Brown, Jalen's legs. They have a triangle going on that's unstoppable. And their defense, they have a playmaker on every level, right? Carter, Bourne, Cooper, Quinion, right? Slay. You got playmakers, 3 levels. They're formidable. And they go, yes, we agree. Eagles better, but Mahomes, Andy, Spags.
Yep, and it is weird. I was asking this earlier. Is our personality right now, because this is the 3rd Super Bowl in 8 years, and now it's not the newness and whatever. I'm just it's Super Bowl week. Let's go. And there is kind of a quiet confidence of, we know we have a great football team. This is a great football team. And would I be surprised if the Chiefs won this game by a field goal? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if I'll tell you this. If a team wins by double-digit points, it's going to be the Eagles. It's not going to be the Chiefs.
I completely agree with that assessment. Remember one thing. With Jalen, AJ, Saquon, all healthy, they haven't lost.
There's no other team that can run the ball like this on with the quarterback and the running back, and then you have the wide receivers if you think you're going to take that part. So, would I be surprised if they won by double digits? I would not. Yeah. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Let's go!
Every day, Tell the audience. I mean, people got to come in every day, start their day with Johnny Marks.
So, yes, it's 8 a.m. Philly with John Marks. We actually were calling Jamie Lynch on the air today because he wasn't returning my texts. So we finally got him on a video call. But yeah, 8 a.m.
Was he hungover? Apparently, he went to dinner last night.
He did.
Yeah. And God only knows what he drank.
50 beers between. Wait.
Well, he's probably doing cocktails down there.
So he was in New Orleans for like 5 hours without anybody else. So he was going sightseeing by himself.
Yeah, that meant he's going bar to bar. New Orleans is a bad place for that.
Yeah, I'm happy not to be in New Orleans this week. Actually,
it's a great place for it. I had a great years ago. My buddy Chooch, we go to New Orleans, right? My buddy Vinny's meeting us, so he's getting in like 7 o'clock. We got in at 11 o'clock. So Vinny's first message is, yo, whatever you guys do, don't drink. All right? It's New Orleans, right? Like, and it's a beautiful day. It's the same kind of weather, it's springtime. So let's go for a walk, have lunch. And we really said, like, we're going to maintain control. And we're not going to go crazy. A couple beers, that's it. Go back to the room, chill out. Then when he comes in, we'll go out and get nuts. Well, we go do lunch, right? Then the next thing you know, we wander this rooftop and they do these drinks, grenades, slop drinks. But yeah, let's get one. We're here. Let's get one. Whatever. We're on a rooftop, right? Looking out. Well, the next thing you know, these plastic grenades are in the drink. So I got 12 of them, and there's a mime down below. All right. So what do you think I'm doing? I'm pegging the mime, right? We're throwing the grenades. Tooch and I are doing this. Next thing you know, we start roaming. Next thing you know, we're getting tattoos. Next thing you know, we're just all messed up. And then we go back to meet him at the hotel, order a pizza, and he shows up at 7 o'clock. We're knocking on the door.
Right to sleep.
We're dead asleep. We don't hear the door. He finally gets the manager to bust in, and we're dead asleep like that. And he just went, you guys are losers.
I can imagine Jamie's going to be in his underwear and nothing else
Jamie.
laying on the bed. Yeah.
That's Jamie. That's Jamie. Johnny Box.
All right. I'll see you this week.
All right, buddy. Philly.
No green on, Johnny? Kill you to get a little team spirit?
So I have 4 sweatshirts that I'm wearing, culminating with the Super Bowl long sweatshirt.
Oh, nice. There you go. He's planned out his wardrobe.
I actually have.
Yeah.
He's planned. That's impressive. All right. I don't
anti-mimes? You hate the mimes? You throwing grenades at them?
Yeah, I hate the mime.
Yeah.
Right, you know what?
I don't mind a good mime.
You're a pro mime.
Yeah.
I know you are.
A mime in a box, I could watch that for like a good half hour.
I knew you would be pro mime. I hate the mime.
Poor guys out there working and getting grenades launched at them.
It's the dumbest form of any kind of art, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. They call it art. Get the hell out of here. It's the stupidest thing in the world. I wish there were real
you act
grenades.
like you're stuck in a box. You can't do it.
What's entertainment? What's entertaining about that? It's stupid.
They open the door. They walk through the door.
You know what else is bad? The human statue. I can't stand the human statue.
Yeah, I don't love the human statue.
They're weird.
But that's impressive. You got to stand still for that long. It's hard to do.
It's weird.
No sniffles, no itches. They just stand still for like an hour. It's tough work.
Yeah.
It's mental discipline.
Strange.
Listen, it's the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's strange.
All right, you know.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
It is.
A mime? We got to get a mime. Does anyone out there know a mime that can come in here
Every
and
street corner
irritate Anthony for a half hour?
There's a street corner. If I have a plastic grenade, I'm throwing it at him. I wish it was a real grenade. Are you kidding me? They're the worst. Staying on a corner.
Yeah, making a couple bucks.
Do something else. Sing and dance. What am I going to do with a
Anyone
mime?
can sing and dance. It's hard to entertain silently.
What is entertaining about?
They do that little rope pull.
Yeah. Like, pull me in. Pull me in. Yeah, get me. Come on.
Thank God we're not in New Orleans with you.
We have a blast.
He'd be on the corner.
I'll be playing with the mime.
I'd ditch you guys down there. I'd have to go hang out with the mimes.
You'd be hanging out.
Sometimes you just need a little peace and quiet and some entertainment.
Yeah. All right. Quiet confidence. Everybody's feeling it.
They're not quiet around town. They're loud, confident.
Well, no, but everybody's feeling confident.
Yeah.
And that does not worry me.
Mm-mm. The line's a little, if I got to look at things,
I haven't looked at it. What's
it's still 1.5. It's just that Vegas isn't moving it. And it's overwhelmingly
Eagles. People, really?
69% of the bets, 78% of the money. Birds.
78%? Are you kidding
and it's
me?
not moving off 1.5. So, I mean, if I got that.
But 1.5 is a benign number. What's it matter?
Yeah.
It's not like it's 3 or
Vegas
6,
is wrong.
7,
They're wrong often.
That doesn't really mean anything. All right. We got the locker room report coming up. Then the brain. Angel joined us later in the week. He's battling the flu because I want to talk to Angel.
Damn, everyone's got that flu.
Everybody's sick. Everybody's got the flu. All right. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of our friends, shall we? Like Golden Nugget. You're going to love it. Golden. That's the jingle.
Nice.
Right?
Good jingle.
I was watching the, I saw it on the Sixers last night as they lose a 26-point lead. Boston went on a 33-6 run.
No, I saw it, unfortunately.
Can I ask you one question off of that?
Why are we watching it?
Yes. And also, why would Nick Nurse go to his zone and get Boston shooters hot? Can I ask you that question?
It's not like
what? I was talking to somebody who go, well, Boston was cold, lived by the 3, died by the 3. Yeah, but the last thing you do was go to his zone and give them good looks, so then they get hot.
Well, it's
like Nick Nurse. I get the lineup, I get all that. You're up by 26 points. Why would you go to his zone? So now that all they do is rain threes and get back in the game.
Make them drain some threes. Who knows if they can make
Nick
the three?
Nurse
it's only the best.
Is irritating to me.
All
right? Irritating.
They only shoot more threes than any other team.
By the way, we've got to get to Luka and the seismic trade at some point.
What is going on? It felt like they got him for nothing almost. I mean, I know Anthony Davis is a good player, but he's like 7 years older.
How many people in Delaware Valley thought, damn, if Embiid was healthy, they could have made that trade?
That would have
Because that would cross my mind.
That would have been fantastic.
All right, let's go to Golden Nugget, right? Because the piece of the jewelry that we're looking for right now is a Super Bowl, as a big game ring, championship ring. That's what we're looking for. Golden Nugget Jewelers, 8th and Chestnut, Valentine's Day, around the corner. All right? So make sure that you go see my man, your own 8th and Chestnut, right there at Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. He's got everything: diamond earrings, diamond pendants, all kinds of great deals, all happening right now. And if you met that special somebody and you want to pop the question, you got it. You're hooked up. You're in luck, because your own's got the largest selection of certified diamonds. The settings, like the designers for the settings, Corey Baraggio, puts it together for a ring that will make her melt. So go see them. Golden Nugget Jewelers, 8th and Chestnut, the heart of Jewelers Road, Center City. GoldenNuggetJewelers.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
All right, parents, I'm talking to you. You want your kids to grow up and you want them to have some good fiscal responsibility, some good financial knowledge. You don't want them running haphazard all over town with credit cards going crazy like I did. So, TrueMark Financial Credit Union's got the program for you. If you got kids, TrueMark has the ultimate playbook for teaching financial responsibilities with their free Greenlight account. Greenlight app comes along with it, totally changing the game, helping kids and teens learn how to earn, save, and spend wisely. They can set up savings goals, track their spendings, and you can even give them their allowance all right there in the app. They can check off, tuck the trash out, did the dishes, and just transfer the allowance. So cool part is each kid gets their own debit card so they can make purchases and learn real-world money skills. And you get to stay in control of it from your phone, so you can set limits and they can't go nuts with the debit card. You get a peace of mind. They get the freedom to make smart decisions with their money. It's like coaching your kid through their very own financial game. And for TrueMark Financial members, this program is totally free. So now is the perfect time to introduce your kids to the Greenlight program. Get signed up today. Visit TrueMark.com/Greenlight for more information. Can't have kids running around not knowing what. Just spending money like crazy.
I need that now.
I could use it now. I wish the Peg had hooked me up with the Greenlight app.
Yeah, really. All right. Time locker room report. Ooh. And that's brought to us by Valley Forge Tourism. That's it, valleyforge.org. Valley Forge Tourism. Make it Monco.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
nice little day out there to take. If you're out in that area or close by, go
Beautiful
get
day
to
for
the
that.
park.
That's it. We got to figure out stuff to do around here before kickoff because we're going to be wandering aimlessly.
Yeah, you need a bar crawl list. You need some food lists.
Everything.
Yeah.
We got to pass time. We got a lot of time to pass. You know.
Party week.
All right, let us go down to New Orleans and visit with our man, all PHLY Birds. All right, the great Zach Berman. Zachariah, look at him. What do you say, buddy?
Good morning. Hey, good morning, guys. Great to talk to you. Awesome to be here. Excited for the week ahead.
I love your. I love the picture of the skyline behind you of New Orleans. You're at the Marriott. Where you at?
Now I'm at a hotel a few blocks away, and so I wanted to make sure that I got something good behind us. It's a visual medium, right? So I didn't want to just grab you from the street. So maybe I'll do hits this week from
I would love that.
You're walking. Yeah, but for today I wanted to make sure.
FOMO. I have to be honest with you. I got FOMO not being down there. So you got to give me some sights and sounds. I love New Orleans. New Orleans is a great city. It's one of my favorite cities. So much fun, the whole thing. So give me a little taste of it, all right? What'd you do last night?
Absolutely. Last night I had a nice meal with Bo Wolf, Jamie Lynch, and then Julia Hoff, our head of production, talking about the week ahead. Had great Cajun food. I ate rabbit. You can't get rabbit up in Philly, but this rabbit was good.
Where'd you guys go?
No. We went to a place called Koshan. It's a good spot down here. Had the wood-fired oysters. Those things were outstanding. And yeah, good food, good company. And then was working on a few stores. Jamie was out before dinner too. So
Of course he was.
Jamie knows how. Jamie knows how to have fun.
Bro knows how to have fun.
Yeah,
I'm
transcribing.
A little bit of your work ethic, all right?
Nah, Jamie's doing it right too. You know that, but I'm transcribing Jordan.
You don't feel the need to defend him.
I'm transcribing Jordan Mailata and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and he's experiencing New Orleans the way it's meant to be experienced. So
it was great. Saturday night, Jordan Mailata, BG were at the Borgata. Saturday night. People were going nuts. The whole thing. In fact, my goddaughter Erica is the marketing manager at the Borgata.
Oh, nice.
And she was there, showed pictures of Jordan Mailata and BG and the whole thing. It was everybody was excited. There's that excitement that's here, that's unmatched. Now the Eagles flew out yesterday. So what's their existence going to be like this week? Trying to be sheltered from all this.
Yeah, so it's interesting you bring that up because this is the best place for us in the media to cover a Super Bowl. It's probably the worst place for the team from like a privacy perspective. They are literally staying 3 blocks from here. They are right in the thick of it. If you look outside the window of the team hotel, you see the casino. If you look a few blocks past that, you see Bourbon Street, right? So they are, when you play a Super Bowl in New Orleans, you are in New Orleans. You're not a half hour outside of town. So they will definitely hear Eagles fans this week. I promise you that. Jalen Hurts will be trying to get his sleep, and he might hear, Anthony from South Philly enjoying Bourbon Street at some point.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't go to like Baton Rouge and just stay out.
Yeah, I've known some coaches who've actually changed their teams like the night before, the weekend before the game. But I think actually during the week it's set by the league. One team stays here, one team stays there. So the Chiefs are staying 2 blocks that way
and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Chiefs are staying 2 blocks that way. Eagles are staying 2 blocks that way. So it's
but the Chiefs
awesome
are working out of Tulane, which is a little removed. It's in the Garden District, so it's a little out. Whereas
so the Chiefs are staying right at the downtown Marriott here, and The Eagles are staying. I mean, I can tell you where
Yeah.
they're staying. They're staying 2 blocks that way.
Yeah.
Chiefs are practicing at Tulane. The Eagles are practicing at the Saints facility. So they're right in the thick of it here.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Zach, is there a contingency of Eagles fans down there already? Do you see them? You hear them?
Right now it's probably more media and people surrounding the team. But yeah, I mean, or I should say surrounding the game. But you definitely see it. I mean, I was on the flight yesterday, and yeah, there's green in the airport for sure, but it was more, there were, here, I'll put it this way. There were people who were like, wait, that's like Greece. And hey, that's Hugh Douglas, right? So there were definitely people, Eagles fans who noticed it, but I think that really starts to pick up Wednesday, Thursday, based on my experience. And then Fridays when, you can't walk around without, feeling like you're down the shore during the summer. Everyone's from Philly.
Yeah, that's like daddy's short of summer. What a great analogy. Zach, get any updates? You have any updates on the injuries and health wise? I always want to start with
Yes, absolutely. So this is a healthy roster. Had they played a game on Sunday, okay? Had they played a game yesterday, every starter would have been eligible to play, and like no questionable anything like that. The only like real notable player who would have been questionable for that game is Brandon Graham, and I'm expecting Brandon Graham to play. But Landon Dickerson would have played, Cam Jurgens would have played, Devontae Smith, Zach Bond, players who were dealing with things, and the Eagles sat a lot of a number of their high profile players last week for rest. They kind of want to keep them off their feet. They were able to put the game plan in. They had walkthroughs still, but this is a roster that's going to be relatively healthy. Jalen Hurts is not even on the injury report right now. So I would say, I know coming off that game, people were worried about Dickerson, worried about Jurgens. I think it's notable that had they played yesterday, both guys wouldn't even have been questionable.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That's great news. What about Kansas City? You know anything about Kansas City? I haven't looked at their health wise.
Good question. Yeah, no, I have not checked on them yet. I can do that quickly, but yeah, my focus has been on the Eagles up until this point.
Yeah. Obviously. I
Here
was
you
just
go.
curious. Yeah, what we got?
Let me see here. I'm doing this in real time. The Chiefs. So they would have the only player who would be doubtful for this game would be Sky Moore. Okay. Everyone else, Brian Cook, Jalen Watson. Yeah. Jawan Taylor. Everyone else would have played.
Dude, let's talk about this because I want to tap into your football brain a little bit. I spoke to, like, one of the things I was trying to line up some guests and I also was doing my own little informal poll. So I was texting a lot of coaches and a lot of like front office guys and scouts that I know. So I had to text, literally over 100 people and just kind of like throwing out, hey, what do you think? And just, putting together. And, to a person, the consensus was pretty interesting. It was, Eagles are better, but they have Mahomes, Andy, and Spags. I mean, I can show you the text. It was almost verbatim the messages back where, Eagles are really good. And because I bring up the point of the Eagles O-line, the fact that they have playmakers on defense at all three levels, right? Carter and Ball and the secondary. So, like, the matchup. And they all agree, like, Eagles are a better team, but, they got Mahomes, Andy, and Spags. It's really interesting. They all came back with basically the same response.
Yeah, well said. First off, I'm envious of your Rolodex there, right? I want to text 100 coaches. That's impressive.
It's scouts, guys, front office.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely
guys.
No, that's good stuff.
It's just because I'm old is why I haven't.
No, it's because you're good. It's because you're good. The assessment is accurate, right? I've been hearing the same thing that, the Eagles are better, but Mahomes. I keep hearing but Mahomes, that if Mahomes has the ball at the end of the game, there's a reason why they've won all these one-score games. And there's a reason why this is not a team. I think they did not score 30 points until Christmas Day, right, against the Steelers. This is not a team that's been prolific, but it's a team that won 15 of their first 16 games because they're so well coached, because what that defense has done. And I heard Andy, obviously Mahomes, and then I heard Andy talking about Travis Kelce last week and said that that they really haven't had healthy parts at wide receiver throughout the year. Now they're going into this game. Obviously, Rashee Rice is out for the year, but there's a little more continuity there. Hollywood Brown came back late in the year. He's getting healthier. You have him. You have Xavier Worthy, who's been coming on. DeAndre Hopkins, they picked up midseason. So, this is a much different Chiefs team than what the Eagles saw 2 years. I thought the team the Eagles saw 2 years ago was significantly better. I thought that Chiefs offense was as good of an offense as you could see going into a Super Bowl. But Mahomes is that good, and Andy's that good, and Spags is that good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I think it's so interesting, but the Chiefs were better 2 years ago, and the Eagles are better now, right?
Yes.
That piece of it is legit. Now, Hopkins is weird because Andy has not used him a lot. He has not been a big deal. He's only playing 40% of the snaps. He hasn't been a big part of their offense. In fact, he dusted off Smith-Schuster last week or 2 weeks ago.
Sure. Yeah. But and it's one of those things you've seen Hopkins have some success in the red zone, but no, it's been more Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce's where the passing game goes through. They didn't have Pacheco for most of the season. He came back too, so the running game could in theory pick it up. But I went back this past week and watched that Super Bowl from 2 years ago, and first off, the Chiefs were much better, but you forget the Eagles outplayed them. The Eagles should have been up 2-3 scores at halftime. Jalen had that fumble that was returned, but the Eagles just had that outstanding first half. It's just with the Chiefs, they are never out of a game, and I think that's what you worry about going into this game. The Eagles are better, but even when the Eagles have a lead, I've used this analogy a few times. It's like facing Brady a decade ago. And, the Falcons are up 28-3, but Brady could bring them back. Mahomes could bring them back. Mahomes is that good.
Although the Eagles are dragon slayers, right?
Yep.
They slayed the Patriots in that Super Bowl in 2018, as you well know and chronicled. So it is interesting that how it all kind of could play out. The only piece of it that worries me is early, all right? The Eagles had played, the only thing the Eagles haven't done is played from behind by 2 scores in the second half. And
that's a good point.
That would be my only thing. We haven't seen it, right? Would Kellen Moore get out of his comfort? Would he try to dial up more throws, right? Which would not be smart. Would he stick? Would he be patient and stick with the run and run his offense, even though he's down 2 scores in the middle of the third quarter? That would be my only kind of thing, because that early on, Fangio, and I went through every game, I went through it all, I was looking at everything. Fangio likes to just play it vanilla early, first couple drives, until he gets a beat on you and what you're trying to do. And that'll dictate his calls. And he always has success, right? And that one of the reasons why the Eagles are so good is that they marry their offense and their defense, right? So they've been playing in front a lot. And even when they were trailing, it wasn't by a lot. So
you're right.
That's the only thing that I'd be curious. Can they, if Kansas City jumps out early and is able to score, early on, how did Eagles respond?
You're absolutely right, because you look at the Tampa game this year. That's probably the game where the Eagles were really playing from behind, and obviously they were missing AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in that game, so that clearly affects you. But the major difference with the Eagles this year compared to 2 years ago is the presence of Saquon Barkley. right? I mean, it's such a difference. But if you're trailing by 2 scores, if you're playing from behind, it mitigates that difference a bit. So yeah, I think I don't want to say the Eagles are built to play from ahead, but I don't think they're built to play down 3 scores. I think one possession games, 10-point games suit them fine. But it's when you have to throw to come back, it's a little different. Now they did that here in New Orleans. They didn't have a big deficit, but they needed to throw the ball in that late drive. They were able to do it. They had the big play to Goddard. But I really think with the way this team has had success, you don't want to be playing from behind here. You want to get that lead, and you want to trust that with Saquon Barkley, you're not going to be in a situation where they have 3 possessions to come back into the game.
Now, the good news is Kansas City doesn't get big leads. Kansas City plays 1-score games too. So that is, again, to me, another advantage Eagles.
It should be. But they still have Mahomes and Reed and Spags, like you said, and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, and man, that and that defense is outstanding. I'm curious to see if the Eagles can build the lead that they want to build against that Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I think that's important. No one talks about if the Chiefs go down 2 touchdowns. They're not an explosive offense. We talked about last week. Their margin of explosive offensive plays, they're like -17 over the season. So if the Eagles can get out early, it could be trouble for Andy and Patrick.
Now the Eagles got out early, 2 years ago, right? But the Chiefs can matriculate downfield. But unless Xavier Worthy is their big play guy, it's a different type of defense this year for sure.
Yeah, to me,
it's a different turf too.
I mean, Zach, it's not even close, personnel-wise and coaching-wise. I mean, look, that team had a lot of sacks. They feasted on bad quarterbacks, right? This team's got linebacker. They tackle. Remember how maddeningly they didn't tackle in the back seven?
Yeah, and and look, the turf in that game definitely hurt the Eagles too. It affected the pass rush. You're correct, and I think too, this Chiefs offensive line's not what it was 2 years ago. And Jalen Carter against Caliendo could be the matchup that decides this game, similar to what you saw with Jalen Carter the past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because if I'm Fangio, I'd move him. I know that, he usually over the right guard. I move him over to left guard, and I go ahead, stop the beast.
Exactly, 100%. I'm with you there.
Oh my, Caliendo.
I hate that name just because of that comedian.
I know, I hate that comedian too.
Zach, I enjoyed reading your piece this morning about. I love it when you get into like players off the field and what motivates them and stuff.
Yeah.
The Jordan Mailata, like he's a proud Australian, but it's also you touched on like how important it is for him to raise awareness for Samoa as well. Can you just touch on that for a little bit?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. Because I was just chatting with Jordan, taking his temperature, and because he has a huge stage tonight, right? And he's literally the NFL's ambassador to Australia. The NFL opened up an academy on the Gold Coast of Australia. Jordan's central to that. You saw the report from an Australian newspaper over the weekend that the Eagles might play over there 2 years from now. And so Jordan very much understands like this is a big responsibility of his, but his father's Samoan. His parents emigrated from Samoa to Australia, and so he really takes pride in the Samoan part of his heritage, and that doesn't get as much attention. And there was a clip that NFL Film circulated after the game the other day, Frankie Louvu and Jordan Mailata talking about representing their heritage. And so Jordan said this is something that he struggles with, and that he kind of has. He said it's this devious plan to bring awareness to use kind of this Australian platform to bring awareness to his Samoan heritage. And actually, this is a really subtle thing that people might not notice. On the back of helmets, you can wear the flag of your heritage. It's actually why Nick Sirianni wears the Italian flag on his sleeve. You saw Bill Belichick used to do it with the Croatian flag. Jordan Mailata alternates between the Australian flag and the Samoan flag on the back of his helmet, and like it's a very subtle thing, but one thing I try to do at the Super Bowl, because I got a cool Jalen Hurts story coming tomorrow, is like when everyone's going big, you kind of go small. Like you try to take advantage of the fact that you're around these guys every day. And so I got a piece on Jalen Hurts about like a behind the scenes thing in the locker room that people don't know about, that he does with other players, that kind of shows some of his personality. And so I did a story a few years ago on Darius Slay's wife making banana pudding for the players.
I love
when
that.
everyone goes big, thank you. Yeah.
That was great.
So like when everyone goes big at the Super Bowl, I try to take advantage of the fact that I'm around these guys every day. So you'll have a few stories like that, and I also just want to get into caught up with Howie Roseman a bit over the weekend, and he was talking about like Saquon Barkley and the Zach Bond signing, and the Saquon Barkley, he's like they're not surprised at all by what Barkley's done. The Bond thing, he kind of outlined how they viewed him as like a really good special teams player at the floor, but they saw some of the upside, similar probably to what Andrew Van Ginkel did in Miami under Vic. But like Saquon Barkley is as talented a player as Howie had scouted, and that's something that that kind of came up too. But you're going to see a lot of stories on allphly.com taking you behind the scenes of some of the players here.
Love those stories.
Yeah, I do. I think that's fantastic. Hey, Jalen got annoyed last week, because it was Friday or whatever it was, at a question. Why was he annoyed?
So there was a question about what's your most vivid memory from the Super Bowl, from the last Super Bowl. And he said, next question. His most vivid memory is walking off with the confetti falling, right? I mean, that was the backdrop of his phone. That was the wallpaper of his phone the year after. So I don't think he wanted to replay the loss. He talked then, but then, next year, this was like Jalen does this weird thing sometimes where he doesn't answer some of your questions. Nick Sirianni had a speech before the game last week. The Eagles actually documented it, where he had all the players close their eyes and envision the best play of their career. Like, who was it against? What were you, what were you wearing? What was the crowd like? What was the weather? It was kind of like a visualization technique. So I asked Jalen what he was thinking in that moment, and Jalen just said nothing. So he wasn't playing ball on that either. This is part of like Jalen kind of trying to lock in.
But it was funny because then somebody asked the question after, it just rephrased it, and then he answered it.
Yeah, the question that was rephrased was what did you learn from last Super Bowl? And then he kind of answered that being, you just got to take it a play at a time, something like that. But he did not want to go into his most vivid memory from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's like, it's weird, right? Like that whole thing. I mean, whatever works. Like that's how I kind of look at it. Like whatever kind of motivates you or whatever.
Yeah, you can't be right now. You can't be envisioning anything from that loss. You can't go back to there. You can't think about that. I'm with him. I thought it was interesting when the players all talked about, like, Bo did a piece about like breaking down different players' favorite play that they would go to. So many of them were like high school or college. It was like, a lot of it was not pro plays or pro games. That was interesting.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can check that piece out on allphly.com as well.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. Now, tell me, lay out the schedule for everybody for the week. Yeah,
so tonight they call it opening night. It's media night. It used to be media day, and this is when you have, all like the sideshows, the antics. Yeah, they're all there, and so that kind of kicks it off. So the Eagles will be on the floor there at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, 7 p.m. here, and it'll be or it might be 6 p.m. I got to confirm that time. I'm looking forward to catching up with Jeffrey Lurie tonight. That's going to be. I'll get some insight from him on the Eagles season, on what's different about this Super Bowl run. I'll talk to some of the executives tonight because the players, they get hounded by everyone, and that's more of the sideshow. Then tomorrow is like their traditional Tuesday. They're back on
all the media tonight. Like he'll do the.
Yeah. So tonight's the night where you really get to chat with Jeffrey. The Eagles really they get to practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be talking to the players tomorrow at around 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. I've talked to 9 guys tomorrow and Sirianni, and then on Wednesday, Thursday, every player on the team's available. All the coaches are available both those days. So that's good stuff for us, and that's when they really get into the practice week, and that's when you get to kind of more of the football type part of the story as opposed to the sideshow element of it. But when people think of like the Super Bowl media, that's tonight over at the Dome, and we'll have. We have a good team here. We have a good army here of I think we'll have Vinny Curry here chatting with some of his former teammates. We got a big staff. We got the video crew. So we'll have a lot, not just stories. We'll have a lot of behind the scenes video and some cool videos up on our YouTube channel and all our social accounts from that as well.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, last thing, real quick. The game plan is pretty much done.
Yeah.
When will Nick? What's Nick's? He'll install Wednesday.
Yeah. So they did a good
I know
job.
they
of that
worked
last
on
week.
some of it last week.
Yeah. So then Wednesday, Thursday, this week they'll do a little bit more of that. Friday will be their walkthrough at the stadium. And then game Sunday.
Yeah.
Actually, they'll be at the stadium Saturday as well, but they'll do Friday's their last practice of the week.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because Saturday I know is on. They usually do a walkthrough type thing on Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Great stuff. We'll talk to you every day. We look forward to it. Great job. You're killing it.
Yep.
All PHLY birds. Well, 2:00 the show today. You and Bo. You guys will do it from where?
Yeah, we'll be on Radio Row today.
Perfect.
2:00, and then there would be a primetime show tonight. So we're doing 2 shows a day. We're doing our normal show at 2:00, and then a primetime show each day, kind of recapping the day. So following media night, following opening night, it might be Bo, Fran, and Jamie. I might be chatting with the Chiefs if they do it right away, because Eagles go first and Chiefs next. If they wait until after the Chiefs, then I'll join. But you can check that out late tonight as well. So 2 shows a day, but the first one's gonna be 2:00. Me, Bo, maybe Jamie. We'll see if Fran's in on. We'll see if Fran's in by then. We'll have some cool guests on throughout the week, so make sure you check that out.
I love it. Z Berman, great stuff. Zachariah, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Here he is. So, hey, don't forget, all this stuff. Our YouTube channel will be popping, right? The website, allphly.com, popping, all kinds of stuff. Diehards, we got you covered. All kinds of great content dropping, stories being written. We're there.
Make sure you're subscribed to PHLY Sports so you get these notifications when they go live, because it could be just random down there. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be big. A lot of good stuff. This portion of the show brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. In fact, coming up, we'll talk to the brain. We'll dive into all kinds of things with this game. Why isn't it moving? He's got all that stuff, the lines, everything, you name it. We'll dive into that. Let's talk about some Shady Rays.
Oh, man. It's always sunglass season for me, but for some people, they only bust them out in the spring and summer. So we're getting close. So get prepared. You don't want spring and summer, those sunny, bright days that can sneak up on you. You want to protect those eyes. And our friends over at Shady Rays, they got you covered. They got premium shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays, an independent sunglass company, offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, and they're the perfect choice for all outdoor activities. Hundreds of options to choose from, all kinds of colors. You could do colors in your favorite teams like Kelly Green. So don't hesitate. I like them for just driving around, the glare off the cars and stuff. I like my Shady Rays when I drive. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out the best deal of the season. Head over to shadyrays.com and use the code PHLY for 35% off their polarized sunglasses, and they give you that no-risk guarantee. If you break them or lose them, they'll replace them. You can't get that anywhere else. So try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shady Rays.
All right, buddy. Don't forget, Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app has you covered for the big game. Right now, Birds, it's still 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So still 1.5. Total is still at 49.5.
I thought it was 49. Let's
49.
see. 49.
All right. So that was a tick down.
Yep.
And again, all the props you can imagine. I mean, there's how many?
There's 999 total bets you can make on the
999
Bet Park site.
total. That's incredible. We're going to do a special prop show on the big game Wednesday night for Cousins Corner with the brain. But you got to have the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app with you. They got you covered with everything. Some of the early ones we like. I like the Eagles over team total, 24.5. I like Barkley over his rushing total. Go ahead, stop him. I don't think you're going to be able to hold him for under 115 yards. It's crazy. Anyway.
I got a new one I like. I don't know what the number is, but I thought Devontae was like 40-something yards over under. Devontae Smith, his last 3 games versus Spags, 7 for 122, 7 for 100, and 6 for 99.
What's that tell you? It tells you that they're trying to roll coverage AJ's way.
Yep.
And give Devontae single up.
Yep. And Devontae's number is 49.5 for the game. So
it's a little nugget right there.
He's like doubled that his last
good.
3 games versus
Good
Spags.
stuff. Anyway, go enjoy the app. So much fun. All your live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat. You got all the hot online slots, Peaky Blinders, Squid Games. I mean, they got it all. So you got to check it out. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back. If you're down the first 24 hours, you got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Now, this portion of the show brought to you by Rite Aid. RiteAid.com for your nearest store and pharmacy. Now let's go to the brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
All right, there he is, La Brain. Hey,
good morning, my friend.
Good morning, brother. Before we get to football and the big game and everybody's talking about the whole thing, the seismic trade that happened in the league. I mean, we got to talk about it. Luka to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. I don't even understand it. I get Luka's out of shape or whatever, but that's ridiculous. All I kept thinking about is if Embiid was healthy, could the Sixers have landed Luka?
I thought the same. I got to tell you, Anthony, I could talk about this trade for 70 hours uninterrupted, and I wouldn't run out of material. Because this trade is probably summarizes, in a way, like my entire life in terms of I'm always looking for edges in my gambling. I'm doing research. I'm looking for, process over result, always just looking to make sure I get the best of everything. I may lose, but I got to get the right number. Everything is just making sure I do everything the right way. Okay. Can't guarantee I'm going to win. Nothing can guarantee that, but I can guarantee to put myself in the best position to win. What Nico Harrison did for the Dallas Mavericks, if I was to teach a class in value and what not and what to do, what he did, and again, the fact that ownership signed off on it, I find just as weird that you have these people who own these billion-dollar corporations. He literally took it. You know what? You remember, Anthony, you watched Seinfeld back in the day? VG, you guys watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Kramer spilled hot coffee on himself and they were going to give him $1 million settlement and coffee for life? They go, we're going to give you coffee for life. And Kramer goes, so.
Yeah.
He just takes it. Like how they didn't shop that. That's one of those trades, Anthony, was made in your fantasy league. It would have been overturned by the commissioner. It would have caused 10,000 emails, people fighting among themselves. I've been in these leagues, so I know. And people, they would say this trade's voided because everyone would have given more than that. And when you're an owner or general manager of a team, you're a custodian for that city, okay? And the lack of just awareness of realizing if we're going to trade, you're not going to get SGA, you're not going to get Jokic, you're not going to get Greek Freak. Tatum, maybe not. He's better than Tatum, but maybe not. Every other player should have been on the board. And there's no freaking way you're telling me, Anthony, you could go to OKC and say, I'd rather have Chet Holmgren 11 years younger than Anthony Davis. You're telling me you can't go to OKC, say, we want Chet Holmgren
Give you all
and
your
like
picks.
eight number ones, like, because
Yeah.
they have like literally 20 of them. You're telling me that's not a far better haul? We want maybe Jalen Williams and
You
8
go get
number
a
ones.
31-year-old big who is always hurt.
Always.
I thought the same thing. I text you, Embiid. I go,
hey, we got a 31-year-old big who's hurt a lot.
dude, that's what I kept thinking to myself. If Embiid was just a little bit healthy, that could have been us. I would have flipped the switch, Anthony. I would have been like, I'm all in. I would have.
In fact, take Paul George while you're at it.
Yeah, done. Here, I'll pay for a cab ride and the Uber ride, both. That to me would have changed everything. But I kept thinking to myself, God, if you were this, but how do you not shop that?
I don't know. That's
how
crazy.
do you not shop that?
Yeah, that's nuts.
And I got to give you this. How does the Lakers? Here's what I just need to know, and I couldn't stop thinking about this. With Pelinka, the GM of the Lakers, because did Nico Harrison just say, we just want Anthony Davis and nothing else? Or did he? Because I would never have had the guts if he asked for like 8 first-round picks to say no. I'd be like, you're actually doing this? Howard said yes to everything. How did he not? I don't know. I'd love to hear that conversation where he asked for it and somehow Pelinka had the balls to just say no and get rewarded. Or this guy just wasn't intelligent enough to ask.
I don't know, dude. It's insane. It's completely insane. And the best is like, so Shams is on and he's talking about it. And Shams goes, LeBron did not know about this. Like,
how does LeBron know?
Like, first of all, who cares?
Right.
Right? Like, you know, hey,
true.
Hey, LBJ, I got Luka, all right? So, be happy. I mean,
yeah, be happy.
People are talking about, well, does LeBron now go to the Warriors? Right? It's insane. The whole thing is crazy. And then
have you ever seen a more shocking trade in your lifetime, either of you guys?
No.
Shocking / bad.
I thought it was a fake tweet when I saw it, like at 12:30 Friday or Saturday night. I thought it was fake.
VG, I saw someone goes, it'd be like trading Travis Kelce for Justin Jefferson. Not that bad, but you get the point. It was just so weird. It's like one of those trades. If you have a partner in a fantasy league and someone else, you don't even have to call your partner. You're like, done. Like,
I know.
You don't even want to say yes too quickly because you're afraid you're going to scare the guy off.
And meanwhile, the Spurs get De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
With Wendy. And
at least the Kings, they get Levine, they get 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks.
Yeah,
they got
exactly.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I can't stop thinking about this trade. And by the way, every NBA executive had the exact same reaction that us three are having. They were all like, "Are you kidding me?"
I was texting with Legs. Legs was freaking out. Legs was like, "What? Like, what? Can you believe it?
Did you guys?
No way in the world." Did
you see the video? Kevin Durant's on the bench. He heard it from a fan. He was like, "No way, no way!" He couldn't believe it.
Shams texted one NBA superstar told him, and I didn't say what it was, but it makes sense. Do you realize how much the Mavericks must have hated Luke? Again, not dislike. They must. There's not even a word above hate for what they feel about this guy to make a trade like this. But again, I don't care if I don't care if he's smoking cigarettes again, running up and down the court. It's irrelevant to me. You could have gotten so much more than what you got.
Yeah, he's out of shape. He's lazy. Okay.
Okay, I'll give it all to you. Give it all to you.
I saw Ramona Shelbourne. Ramona Shelbourne was on, and she said she actually texted Shams and was like, "Are you hacked?" She couldn't believe what the details were.
Carson called me at like 12:30 in the morning, telling me the trade, and I go, Carson, I know for a fact it's fake. I know value in an NBA trade. There's a 0.0% chance this trade is real. I go, the guy who hacked it forgot to include like the 8 number ones and 12 pick swaps. That's how I know it's fake.
Right.
Because no one's this dumb to do this trade. And then I kept going, and then I was like, and it took like 17 sources to confirm it, and I still was not sure. But man, I just wish it was Embiid.
I hear you. All right, let's talk about what's happening in on Sunday. So this line is staying at 1.5.
Yeah.
What's your read on that? What it looks like it's overwhelming Eagles money.
Yeah, from the one side I'm looking at, it's like 70.
Look, this is the one game, guys, where obviously the public money dwarfs the quote unquote sharp money. Okay. But look, you have a game here where, again, as I say, to me, you look at this game, how I look at this game is two sides. The logical side just tells me the Eagles are better. The Eagles are better everywhere except coaching and quarterback, which obviously could argue the two most important things. But the Eagles just have been the better team all year. They are the better team. I don't really think if you asked most NFL people who's better, Chiefs or Eagles, pretty confident 5 out of 6, kind of like the old tried on gum back in the day, would say the Eagles are the better team. But then you have the emotional side, like the Chiefs just win every one of these games. However it has to be done, they win these close games. Look, the game should be close, guys. It really, I would be shocked again. We saw the Bills game come down to the end, guys. I'd be very surprised if this game does not come down to the last possession one way or the other.
Yeah, VG said this. I completely agree that if there's one team that's going to win by double digits, it's the Eagles.
It'd be the Eagles. Team that could embarrass the Chiefs and actually put margin on them. I think the Ravens maybe could have too, but those would be the two teams that I thought could put margin on the Chiefs. No one else is going to beat them by margin. Certainly wasn't going to be Buffalo. They didn't have that kind of team. The Lamar with his firepower and the way their defense was playing at the end, they were playing well at the end, and the Eagles certainly with their offensive firepower and their defense, they're the two teams that if the Chiefs were to lose by double digits, those are the two teams that could do it to them.
Hey, Braden, the total's been creeping down a little bit.
You have VG, the two best defenses, right? Would you agree, VG? These are the two best defenses in the playoffs. Eagles, I think, are the clear number one. And I'd probably say the Chiefs are number two. So, and you have, again, teams that don't necessarily score fast. The Chiefs don't throw these, they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. They're not getting these crazy 4-play drives like they did back in the day. And the Eagles love to run the ball with Barkley. Now, again, they may score every time. They may just be an avalanche of points, but these teams do, in my opinion, score at a pace that is not overly fast. And you have arguably the two best defenses in the playoffs. So I do understand why the total is a little bit low and maybe deflated. But then again, you also have two teams. You say to yourself, how are either of these teams not going to score at least 20? Both. How are they both not going to score at least 20? It would kind of be shocking if neither one did. So you say to yourself, they just get in the mid-20s, you're already at 50. So I thought the total would come in around 48-ish. It's actually a point higher than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I think it's sitting around 49 right now. But I do see why it's lower in the sense that, again, the defenses have, in my opinion, these are the two best defenses, guys.
How do you feel about a tease of there'll be Eagles plus 7.5 and then an over of 43, 43.5?
VG, I would like the Eagles and teases, absolutely. Like the Eagles and teases very much. Because, again, I would be very surprised if Kansas City wins this game by margin. This game, if someone were to tell me this was going to be a double-digit game, in my own head, it's 85-90% the Eagles would beat them by double digits. But I typically, VG, never tease over-unders. And why? It has never been profitable doing it. The variance from totals is far more different than the variance of spreads. That's been throughout time. So if you were to do that, you'd be going against the grain. Doesn't mean it can't win, but usually when you tease a total, you're really asking for trouble. So for me, that would personally be a pass. But again, if you're in the Super Bowl, you want to have fun, you want to enjoy yourself, say, you know what, I think the Eagles are going to make this game close. I only have to get over 42 points or whatnot, and I don't want to have to, I'll take my chance Eagles don't get blown out. I have no problem with you doing that.
Hey, I just for grins though. I mean, I'm looking at the alternate line, and if you get the Eagles to win by 9.5, double digits.
What is it? Plus what?
It's over 4-1.
It is over 4-1?
I mean, to me,
yeah,
I think there's a world that it's over more
it's not a crazy
more
world
than
either.
one time in 4 games the Eagles can win by double digits.
Out of 5. If you're getting 4-1, it's 1 out of 5 games. So yeah, actually, Anthony, I agree with you.
You know the math more than I do.
I agree with you.
I just think that makes sense. It warrants a play just on the math side of it, because I think the football side tells me that I can easily see the Eagles winning by more than, and you can see it's a close game, but then Barkley breaks a run and they win 30-17.
Yeah, no, it certainly could happen again, and I certainly think, yeah, it's worth a pizza bet. But again, if you ask me what do I think is the most likely thing, and I think you would agree with this, most likely thing, Anthony, come like 9:35, 9:40 Eastern time, we're gonna be biting our nails, being like, it's gonna be like, gonna be probably a one-score game. Either Mahomes has the ball down by less than a touchdown, or the Jalen has the ball less than a touchdown, and you're just like, what's going to happen? Is the defense going to come up with a big stop, or is the offense going to do it? That's what I think is the most likely outcome. But I do agree with you, Anthony. I think if there is a blowout or is a double-digit win, I would really be extremely confident. Use the word extremely. That it would be Philadelphia doing it to Kansas City.
Hey, last thing, it's just keeping it sports. And we'll do a big prop special show on Wednesday where we'll go through every prop, the whole thing. Looking forward to that. But did you see Duke Carolina? Oh,
yeah. I mean, well, my daughter.
I know Carolina's not good. I get it. But
they ran him out of the building.
Oh, my God. I mean, Cooper Flag, he's great, but he leads them in points, rebounds, steals, assists, blocks. All 5 categories.
He's not Wembyana. He's not going to be like that, but he's going to be quite great. I mean, he's going to be the clear number 1 pick, and he'll be an all-star.
I think he's great. I just see because you can shoot it.
Well, I'm saying I don't think he's Wembyana. I'm just saying, but
Wembyana's different.
Right. He's a freak. He's a freak of nature. But I think this guy's going to be a legitimate top 10 player.
5 player in the league, I think.
Yeah, Well, Wemby is right now, but I think Flag's going to be an elite all-star.
I think Cooper Flag has the ability to be a top 5 player.
He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whoever gets him number 1. But I think we keep talking about the NBA, all these guys resting their players, just trying to get an extra ping pong ball or whatever.
It's
just
horrible.
I don't know. I think
the whole thing's
it's horrible.
Yeah, it's
the whole thing's terrible.
I mean, I'm watching it. I don't know why, but I'm watching, especially after the Flyers can't score. Right, I'm watching the Sixers last night blow a 26-point lead.
They were up by 27 points in the third quarter.
26, yeah. And here's what Nick Nurse did. The brilliant Nick Nurse. Let me go zone because my players are gassed. Blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
let me hit them 3-pointers.
I'm going to go zone. Boston wasn't shooting well in the first half. This is the stupidest thing in the world to give Boston shooters life. To get them hot. Yeah. You go zone.
That's what you did.
What's Nick Nurse showed at all?
He's been a disappointment.
I thought he was an excellent. Oh, God. So the whole thing. Toronto, they always seem well coached. Mm-hmm. Always had a game plan. What, something basic you're going to drop into a zone because you think your players are tired. The best way to give the Celtics life is to give them clean looks in the basket from 3.
Couldn't agree more.
They're not like a CYO team that can't shoot or you're undecided they can shoot. They're like
idiotic.
They're shooting 143s a night.
I have never been more down on the Sixers.
I couldn't agree more.
The last 10 years.
Ever.
The last 10 years.
Even through the Simmons and all the other stuff, I always thought hope. I got
same.
And I love Maxey to death. God bless him. He's the greatest.
Would you trade him for Luka?
Wow. Yes, stop it.
I mean, come on.
Stop it.
But
I'd rather have Maxey than Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd rather have a 23-year-old or 24-year-old Maxey than a 31-year-old Anthony Davis. It's not even close to me.
Correct.
So I don't even understand. Again, I could go through that.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That trade. That's insane.
I do have a couple quick props for you, though, guys, in the NBA, and you'll like them because they're overs, guys, and we've been winning the props, been giving them out. They've been doing well. Steph Curry. His over-under, he averages 6.5 assists. The over-under should be 6.5. They made it 5.5. He's 25 and 14 of that, 7-3 his last 10, 13-7 his last 20. The trends are good. The season stuff is good. It's 1 too low. You can lay 5.5 over 115 on the Park site right now. And Jose Alvarado, you're like, who the heck is Jose Alvarado? Some of you guys. Well, he's replacing DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray, unfortunately, tore his Achilles tendon for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah.
He is their point guard. He averages over 4 assists in limited minutes. He's now going to be getting a big run of starters minutes. I think he's going to get 7+ assists. 5.5, I think is too light. I would have made
that's a great play.
7.5.
That's a great play.
I think he's an underrated player that's going to get big minutes.
I like Alvarado. He's good.
He's good.
Yeah,
You know that play when he always steals the ball from people? Do you ever watch that play
Yeah.
where he hides and he
And
waits
and
to, like
pounces.
he's behind a player and he just steals the ball when you're behind. He doesn't even, the player doesn't know
No,
he's
I
there.
agree, dude.
Google Jose Alvarado.
That's a great play. That's a great play. I'm with you.
He's a good per minute player and he should get his run.
Good stuff, Brain. Thank you, my brother.
Appreciate you
Big
guys.
night, Wednesday night.
Good.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Here he is, the Brain. Yes, Wednesday night we'll go through all the props. But Eagles laying double digits, you get over 4-1.
I like that. I'm in.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Nah. Throw 15. I'll throw. Man of my means, 15, 20
I
bucks.
feel
on that.
good about that one.
I'm saying pizza bet.
Yeah.
10 brings back, like 50.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Look, like I said last week, I simulated the Super Bowl 10 times on Madden.
I love you did that.
And 4 times out of the 7 times that they won it, 4 times it was double-digit leads. Like they blew the Kansas City Chiefs out of the water. So, I mean, yeah, obviously don't take your betting advice off of that. But, I mean, 4-1 could be good.
Dude, I feel you. I feel you.
That's 40%
All right,
according to your simulations.
We got a bunch of stuff that we got to do. Coming up at 10:30, David Boreanaz, the great actor, friend of the show, huge Eagle fan. Huge. It's amazing. The celebrity Eagle fans. At the Grammys last night, who was it? She's from Ballackinwood.
Sabrina Carpenter? Yeah.
She was all eagled up.
Of course. She's not a turncoat.
No.
Not like that Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift wearing her Kansas City Chiefs red last night.
Oh,
Boo.
get out of here with that.
Yeah. She's what, Bucks County?
Yeah, she's been a loud Eagles fan.
Like Reading, right?
Yeah, that area. Yeah, she's been at the link wearing a jersey, acting like it's her team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when she
she's done
performs,
that?
she's put on Eagles green.
Oh, yeah. Before she met Travis, she was all Eagles. She would do the chant. She would do everything. Then she started dating him, and she became a turncoat.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's a rat.
But her mom and
You're
dad
right.
are huge Eagles fans. So the Swift family, good. Taylor, bad.
Like, I respect Kylie Kelsey said that she'd never, even if Jason was traded, she'd never wear another team's colors. And Taylor, she's quick to turn.
Yeah, well, no, you can't. You got to stay true to your team.
She can wear a Go Travis shirt.
Listen, you got to be eagled
Got
up.
to, yeah.
Like, you got to be. Listen, I got no beef. Like, you throw a Chiefs thing on when you're at the game there or whatever, but you got to make it known, like a Kelsey jersey. That would work.
Yeah.
But you got to make it known that I'm still an Eagles fan, and in the Super Bowl, I'm rooting Eagles.
Yes.
Like, that has to be.
I agree.
So all these celebrities, because everybody comes out of the woodwork now.
That's cool to be an Eagles fan.
Isn't it amazing?
What's his name? Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Now he's tight with Dom, and now he's an Eagles fan. He's wearing big Dom gear.
Yeah, he had the big Dom. He had the big Dom. Pete Davidson. What is he? What's his Philadelphia connection?
He doesn't have
Nothing.
one. The Giants stink. The Jets stink. And he got hooked up with Big Dom, and he said the Eagles have just embraced him, and he loves the whole franchise right now. So
that's the only thing that gives me pause. Is like you got a lot of ancillary peeps jumping on the bandwagon.
You want to be the hated outlaws that no one wants to hop
Kind
on.
of.
But once you are the hated outlaws like the Raiders were, people want to be part of that. It's cool.
Right. But the celebrity, like Boreanaz, has grew up here, right? Like he's Philadelphia through. He's a Flyer. Like he watches every Flyers game. He came to town last week. He was at Flyers, Sixers. Like he's legit, fan. The only thing I don't like is that you got to share the like. All of a sudden, these big people come in and are all EHELES.
I agree.
And I get a little, part of me gets a little squeamish.
Yeah.
Because, like Bradley Cooper is an Eagles fan. I remember before he got big.
Yeah.
I was on Good Day Philadelphia interviewing him, right? This is back in the, days. The Wedding Crasher.
Okay.
All right? And...
Yeah.
So after that, he came to Good Day one day, and I sat with him to talk about the Eagles, and he knew about it.
You got
You know?
Miles Teller seems to be a pretty good one.
Dude,
he's a
Miles
big one.
Teller knew Phillies. He was all about, during the run a couple of years ago, he was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pass the smell test. I can't have, like, Fugazi guys.
You know Pete Davidson?
No.
Yeah, he's Fugazi.
I'll be honest with you, I don't want Pete Davidson.
Pink is
Yeah.
also,
Yes,
she
Pink.
was born and raised
Yes.
right in Bucks County.
Yeah.
She and I went to the same high school.
You did?
Yeah, we had the same singing coach, which is actually pretty cool in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had a singing coach.
Tiny nugget. Well, it was
man.
the choir
Is that
teacher.
coach still around? Can we get that person on like after football season?
No,
That's interesting.
they're not around anymore.
But you actually had a singing coach.
Well, it was a choir teacher, but yeah, it was a singing coach as well. I did like select stuff, so maybe closer at the end of the
All right.
week. I'll do the Eagles fight
it.
So
All
yeah,
right.
this
So
is how-
David's going to join us.
This
Yeah.
is good parenting. Dan Shyrock in our chat. His daughter's a Swift fan. Taylor Swift music is banned from the house for the next week.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Tell him, by the way, we're going to work on getting to school.
Okay.
All right. We're
Yeah.
going to work on because on Friday, we're going to put together some fun stuff. So anybody's school that wants to be focused and for featured for doing Eagle Chants, pep rally, singing the song, let us know.
yes.
We'll work on it. We'll do a whole thing.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, you guys let us know. Reach out, Andrew, how they get a hold of you.
Yeah, get a hold of me. It's Andrew at allphly.com. That's my email. Just send me the email. Give me your information, and we'll hook you up for Friday.
And if you're doing it, if you can get an external mic, because the cell phones are made to cut the mic off.
Yes.
Mute the mic if it's too loud, which it's been too loud, so we're getting a little cutoffs. So if you can get an external mic somehow,
Yeah, you got to explain it to them
Sure,
how
yeah.
that works.
Try to get in touch with me ahead of time before Friday, and we can kind of go through anything that you need tech-wise. But yeah, just a better mic, or the phone mic will cut out, so we won't hear you as much. So if you can get an external, whether that's a headset or a little microphone, whatever it is,
well, are we just doing
Bluetooth,
schools?
USB.
We want a business. If a business can get their people all rallied
Dude,
up,
everything. You name it.
yeah,
I also
little
we're
Pride
working
Day.
on international stuff too.
cool.
All right, because there's a lot
Yeah.
of Philadelphia. My man Jake in Australia.
Yeah, there's a chat listener from Saudi Arabia. I know we've seen it here.
Yeah,
a
like
bunch.
I want to go around the world. All right,
well, we should try to get in touch with those guys in Japan.
Aiden from Ireland. I love that guy.
Yeah,
I reached out to him.
yeah, that would be awesome.
So I reached out to him. There's a place in Japan that has Philadelphia cheesesteaks and Philadelphia
Yes,
bar and the whole
yes,
thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
steakhouse.
He doesn't speak English well, he said. I was like, dude, who cares? I was like, I gotta get in a
Can
Japanese
he spell
interpreter.
Eagles? That's all
Yeah.
we need.
Really?
He's gotta do the chant.
Show the place.
Ah, man,
No,
this-
we're gonna put together some fun stuff.
I give credit too in the chat. It just pains me because it's a Father Judge, a North Catholic rival. But Tim M says Father Judge is off the Monday after the Super Bowl. They've canceled.
That's a good move.
It's a great
That's a good move.
Yes.
Although I didn't want to bring this up, but it might be better off to cancel it for that one day that would be a day of celebration,
True.
which I'm not going to mention.
True.
I'll say the P word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
you get both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong
That
with
might
both?
be-
You
That
get
might-
a day, and you get a day.
Yeah, that's all. All right. Coming up, we'll have a real celebrity, a real Eagles fan,
Oh, the
David Boreanaz.
Fandalorians in Canada representing in the chat room.
Oh, I got a place in Montreal. Tell them.
Oh, yeah,
All right?
what is it?
Bossa.
Bosa?
Yeah, it's a Bossa.
All right.
It's Bossa, Bossa. Philadelphia, the greatest sandwiches ever. In fact, they're huge Eagle fans. Vinny's cousin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, up
Lucky-
in Montreal.
Lucky viewer in the chat was also talking about the cheesesteak place in Japan. He said it was the best one he's ever had
Are you serious?
in Japan. He went in 23, so 2 years
Oh,
ago.
that's awesome. I love it.
Wow, Mickey in the chat. His daughter's school's closed too. I love these schools
Yeah,
shutting
that's
down for
great.
Super Bowl stuff.
It's
It's got to be a national holiday.
Oh, it
somewhere. They
should
got to
be.
do
well,
the President's
they're gonna
Day.
move it. They are.
Yeah.
They're moving it. They're going to add the game. They're going to
Yeah.
move the President's
Got
Day.
to.
And that'll be that. All right, we're going to take care of some business. And then I want to get David up here. And then we got to do this. We're going to do each Super Bowl every day, relive the Super Bowls of the Super Bowl past. To do that, let's talk about Parks Casino. Here you go. Updated. You ready? Parks Casino, my casino of choice. Action entertainment, headline entertainment, concerts, comedy, MMA, boxing at the state-of-the-art Excite Center, plus thousands of slots and table games, state-of-the-art, beautiful sports book. beautiful poker room, collection of award-winning restaurants. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Just announced. You ready? June 27th.
I don't know.
We're probably not ready.
I'm not ready.
No, you don't know. Trevor Wallace, comedian.
Oh, okay.
All right. June 27th and July 12th, Trevor Wallace. February 8th, Jerry Cantrell, Alice in Chains.
I'm the man in a box.
March 7th, Scotty McCreery from American Idol.
Just give me 5 more minutes.
March 8th, magician Michael Carbonaro.
Hey, man, where's my shoes?
March 22nd, country star Lee Brice.
There's a rumor going round about me and you.
May 16th, comedian Larry the Cable Guy.
Get her done.
Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show. Parks Casino, this is how you win. ParksCasino.com. You got to be 21 if you have a gambling problem. Please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're presented by Rothman. Joints aching, hands cramping, back out of whack. Rothman's got you at Rothman Orthopedics. Practicing specialized care has been their passion for over 50 years. Their mission, high quality, compassionate, and affordable care rooted in research. Research leading to new treatments, better outcomes, okay? Each Rothman doctor laser focused on their specialty. Hip, knee, spine, you name it. They have a team for each body part right in your backyard so you can cross over the defense, you can drain jump shots, you can run routes between the cars, right? You know it. You can root for our teams like no other fans in the country. They are Rothman Orthopedics. They specialize in you. Rothman Orthopedics specialize in orthopedics in you for 50 years. All right? Visit RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to learn about it and make an appointment today. That's right. This portion of the show brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Go to TrueMark.com/PHLY to find the credit union difference. Now, joining us, let's go to L.A. And we have a real celebrity who is a real fan. True Blue, my good buddy, David Boreanaz. Yo, pal.
My man, can you hear me? Are we live? We're back.
are live.
We're so back. My man, Pots and Pan. Let's go.
Oh, man, Reggie.
Listen, I got to tell you something. So we started the season. I was working in Orlando, and my son and I were down there. He was with me, and that you so graciously crowned his name Lettuce.
He's got the
we'll get into
greatest
later.
head of hockey hair.
Let me tell you something, man. It flows underneath the freaking the dome. And we're watching the game, and I started with Reggie White. I said, this is the jersey I'm starting the season with. So I figured, first week leading up to the Super Bowl, this jersey must be on, because if it's not, then it just messes all the juju up. And I understand everybody in Philadelphia right now is so freaking pumped for this. And this is Monday, and we are ready to roll. And at that game, I remember after that game, when we beat the Packers, I said, we got an all-pro in Quinyon Mitchell, man. I said, this kid right here, he's all-pro. He's all-pro.
I mean, you think about defensively and how good they are, right? How about Jalen Carter, brother? Jalen Carter, game wrecker, unblockable.
Game wrecker, destroyer. Like the man of the rhino in the middle. You know, you put him, he disrupts. He disrupts. And I'm telling you right now, our defense is so good. It's the key to the game. Defense wins championships. And I thoroughly believe in this. It's like in hockey, it's goaltending and power play. In football, it's defense. And the person who does not turn the ball over wins the big bowl. And I believe that we have the defense and on paper, the better team offensively to get the job done. So let's get the job done. One more game. I'll be in New Orleans. I'll be at the Dome. I'm not eating the crawfish because, you know, I don't eat cockroaches, but we are ready to roll, brother.
I love it. I love it. You got your tickets? You all ready? You ready to go?
I'm set. I'm set, man. I was fortunate to get a couple through some great people. Very grateful. We're going to fly out not till Friday. Not a huge fan of the New Orleans area. Love the people. The people. So I'm ready. I'm gassed. You know, I'm going to hit a couple parties. Going to hit Michael Rubin's Fanatics party on Saturday, which should be an interesting scene.
Yeah.
Bringing Jaden, me and Lettuce. We're going to be bringing the chopped salad's going to be arriving. And then it's just like, it's going to be the prep, we got to get prepped. We have to exercise some demons. I mean, in the past, the last time the Eagles were at the Super Bowl in New Orleans, it didn't fare too well for us.
Yes.
Ironically, my father.
Yes.
Yeah, my father was there covering that game. And, it was Jaworski, it was Wilbert Montgomery, it was Tony Franklin, Tony Toes, right? It was like Harold Carmichael.
Toes, yes.
Tony Toes. I mean, who's this guy kicking barefoot? Who is this guy at the vet on like basically a sheet of ice because it's not turf, it's so hard.
Do you remember that we were kids? Thinking back to that Super Bowl, we're going to kind of relive it a little bit. But the Dallas game was really like the Super Bowl for us,
It really was. It kind of reminiscent of an MC Championship game this past weekend, which I was grateful to be at as well, to see Saquon take it and see Wilbert Montgomery take it. And I remember leading up to that game against Dallas, it was like they have to wear their blue jerseys. That was the big thing because they play bad in their blue jerseys.
Yes.
That was like the big thing in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Once they saw them come out in their blue jerseys, it was like, game on, let's go. We're going to take this. We're going to take it.
And you know what's great about it is that you were at the game. They didn't go wild, right? Like they didn't go crazy celebrating. This was like, hey, we got to win the Super Bowl now. This will be a rematch. They want to win the championship. This wasn't like, hey, let's go wild. We made the Super Bowl like it was 2 years ago. They had more of a business approach to it.
I agree with you. And I was telling Jaden that it was like there was something about it. There was this brewing intensity about the win of the game. It was like, hey, we got this done. Now we got to get the overall job done. And that's where I think their mindset is way much different going into this Super Bowl than it was last Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And I got to tell you that being in that crowd, there was this simmering thing. Obviously, the week before that, the Snow Bowl, everybody was going crazy. It was like manic, but it wasn't like that. There's this brewing thing that's going on. We got to get the job done.
Yes. Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more. Could not agree with you more.
And then, like, you look at it and you're right. Like, a running game, an O-line, defense, these are all basic tenets of football, right? Like this is the sport and how it's built and supposed to be played. And it's back in vogue, brother.
It's just, you know what? It's pure out balling on a Sunday. It's literally getting the job done. And it's telling yourself as players going into that war on Sunday, it's like, you know what? I am side by side with you. I'm not above you. I am not below you. I am by your side. And you know what? If there is a weak link in this team, we will surround you. We will pick you up and we will grind every single play that is out there. And we will divide the top from the worst and we will destroy. It's destruction and taking over through the mind and we're playing as a team. And that's what we got going on, brother.
Wow, you got me fired up. That's spoken like a man who knows all about SEAL Team 6.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. You got to go in there knowing that your brothers are side by. You're going into a war. You are going into a war. Defensive war, offensive war. Everything else is shut out. Blinders are on. Keep focused. What's in front of you? Head on a swivel. Make sure that you are covered, and together we will win this Super Bowl. I'm convinced, man. It is going down.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hey.
I'm waking everybody up in California right now. Wake up, goddammit.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. You know what's funny? I was talking about this. When the Eagles have been good now, there's 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. And like the 3 of us with VG, David, like we grew up. Yep. 3 Super Bowls in 8 years was unheard of, right? Like, they didn't win their first Super Bowl until, 18 of February 2018. This is so foreign. And now the Eagles are in vogue. Like the Eagles are the cool team. And you remember, this is why I love you, because you are true. All right? There's no fugazi in you. You suffered. You have the scars of suffering.
I show it, man. I show it. It's inside. This is like we take care of the Chiefs. We call them the Mamalukes. The Mamalukes are on the other side. And here we're going to go drive it down. Hey, I got to be honest with you. When I was back in Philadelphia, my best visit was at the Acme. I went to the Acme on Lancaster Avenue, and they had the Super Bowl stuff prepped and ready to roll. And I saw the Eagles balloons. And I said, Jane, you got to get a t-shirt from the Acme. That's old school right there.
The old Acme.
The Acme. That's exactly right. There's a cadre of Eagles fans and Philadelphians out in LA. Like, do you have your buddies that are true, that are really from here and made it like you did, brother?
Yeah, but let me say something. There's some transplants out here. You know, we call ourselves the palm trees of Philadelphia out here because the palm trees don't exist. We bring the eagle love. There's a few. You know what? I create my nest at home here. My nest is created. And I always said every time I watch a game from home and I'm in the nest, if things start to go away, I got to get up from that spot and I got to move to another spot in order to get the energy going. And I thoroughly believe this. Everybody in the Philadelphia area, when that Super Bowl is going on, you have an urge that you need to shift that game. You get out of that seat and you go where you need to go. You go where you need to go because we believe that.
Well,
and you know what?
True. There's a collective energy that we put out.
Yes.
And if you remember in February of 2018, the city and every Eagle fan felt confident going in against the Patriots. There was a confidence. There was a belief in Nick Foles. There was a confidence that everybody felt like they were going to win. And I feel it now. Eagles, Dragon Slayers.
Dragon Slayers. I mean, let's slay the Taylor Swift for those people that are out there right now.
First and the Patriots, and now it's going to be Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Ain't no three-peat going to happen on our court, man, when we're in New Orleans, because we are going to take the three-peat and throw it out. We're going to make it nothing. We're going to start our peats because we're going to start with our first one, then we're going to go to the two-peat, and then we're going to be even better. We're going to have depth.
I freaking love it.
Hey, people in the chat want him on the sidelines for this game. Are you getting everybody fired
I'm ready to roll,
up?
man. You know what? I'm very fortunate and grateful to meet such great people in the Philadelphia area. One who was right there, my man, pots and pans, right to the right. You're right there. And I got to tell you, you know what? The heart of Philadelphia is those people that you meet on the streets or just like literally go to the Acme and say, hey, go Birds, go Birds, go Birds. What's your language?
It is the greatest thing in the world, right? Where Go Birds has become, so it's a greeting. It's everything. You know what I love? Instead of hearting or thumbs up or whatever, when David texts, he texts the bird.
Oh, no.
Well, I can't listen, man. I can't text Gritty right now. As far as the Sixers are concerned, I'll text a guy with a bad knee who doesn't want to play basketball. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's the Go Birds. It's the Birds. But meeting people like yourself, going to the saloon and having a meal, you know what? I'm telling you, there's something about it. It's just so relevant to today's world. You get a nice New York strip. You sit there with the big Dom. He's having his gnocchis. And Dom goes, I don't want anything. I don't want any of this tension. I don't want any of this tension. Hey, we should go in the other room and get some pictures taken. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't want the attention. What's the matter with you? But it's those little touch and feel moments, that fabric of Philadelphia that I so love. And I always say to myself, I said, the best thing I did in my life was raise my son a Philadelphia sports fan.
Amen, bro. That's great parenting.
I'm so proud of that he bleeds green during the Eagle season, orange and black for the Flyers and the Sixers. Well, when they're rolling and the Phillies, like we owe, like this is our time. I forget it. Forget the beignets, throw them out. Let's get down to business. Let's rush the boys in the front. I want Jordan Davis to stuff. I want Carter to disrupt. I want our boys. I want Cooper to crush. I want interceptions. I want turnovers. I want Mahomes running around like he's just like he can't take it. We got to take it to Mahomes. We have to get at him quick. Our defense has to play. That's so important. And I'm telling you, AJ Brown, man coverage, best in the league right now. Going to have a big day.
Yeah, you can see it, right? Like you stack the box against Barkley, you know what's coming.
Saquon's going to run heavy. I'm saying 31-24 Birds.
31-24.
I like it.
I love it. Let's go.
I'm saying 31-24. I see the numbers, man. I see the numbers. I got feathers. I got stuff, I got crystals. I got things going on, I'm uplifting. I'm calling my indigenous people in Costa Rica. It's like, let's roll, boy. Let's get the scents going, the Palo Santo, whatever we need.
Oh, man. Speaking my language now.
Let's go, brother.
That's some
Right, I like
stones and
that.
some herbs. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, man. You got to have the herbs. You got to have the crystal rocks. You got to have the
Yes.
amethyst ready to roll. You got to have
man, love it.
You got to have the hematites. You got to have you got to
You're
get
not
the
messing
birds.
around.
The birds mugs. You know what? You know what you got to do? You know got to do with these guys? You got to kill them with kindness. That's what you gotta do. Kill them with kindness. That's how we roll. That's how we're going to do it. Look, my son got me this. It's a little thing. It's a little Eagles helmet. When you look inside, it's the two of us outside the link. You can't see that, but it's a great little reminder.
Beautiful.
My man, Lettuce.
Oh, give him a hug for me, would you? He's the
Dude,
greatest.
not only
that
a
kid.
hug, I'll shake him down like a chopped salad for you. Come on, give me the hug.
You got to do it, my brother. Listen, 31-24. You heard it right here.
Dude,
I'm
David
calling it.
Boreanaz.
31-24.
Run into a wall
Yep.
now.
All right, you got us fired up.
Let's go. Let's go run into the wall. Let's go. I've already done my cold dip at 5 a.m. Let's roll. Next thing I know, I'll have a green juice, pretend I'm in California, do some hippy dippy shit, and let's fucking roll.
Brother, you're the greatest.
God bless
man.
you, and God bless America.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Oh, man. He was awesome.
He's the best, David.
Yeah.
He's nuts.
I might have to do those cold. If you get that kind of energy out of a cold tub punch, man,
He's amazing.
fired up. It's 7:47 out there.
That's incredible. Incredible. Great stuff, man. Just great stuff.
It was amazing.
Unbelievable. All right, couple things we got into. Kind of got me fired up, man. I was like
No
pumped up.
kidding,
Let's
man.
go. Let's go, man. Go Birds. Go Birds. Couple things. We got to do every day players to watch. All right. So we're gonna do. This is brought to us by Xfinity Mobile. All right.
Okay.
So you got to get on the chains. Xfinity Mobile is where it's at, and this is our game ball, right? So we're gonna be looking at who to watch for Sunday. So I'll let you start. And then I'll go. We'll do a different players, set of players each day.
I think this one's important. I think Zach Bond, he's been just ridiculous all season. Came out of nowhere, and he might be the. He might be the best inside linebacker in football right now. I think he's gonna. I think it's important he has a good game, and I think he will.
Yeah, I love that. And then I'm going to go to the obvious, but I'm going to go Cooper DeJean. All right, so I'll go the next level.
Yeah.
Next level. Behind Zach Bond. But Cooper DeJean, couple things. One, Andy's going to run a lot of those quick hitches.
Mm-hmm.
And that means off the edges. Like he's great at blowing that stuff up, those wide receiver screens, right? Those quick hitches there. Because of the speed, that's where Cooper is going to be huge. All right.
It's his speed and his toughness. He fights through blocks there.
Well, I'm talking about worthy speed. And that's where Coop's going to, and he fight through the stalk blocks, right? He's going to fight through that stuff and blow them up. So I think he's huge.
I'm with
each
you.
day we'll do our Xfinity Mobile, our game balls, and really the players to watch.
I like we both went defense. I like that.
Yeah, again, Carter's going to get one. Spoiler, right? We know that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, but
Saquon might, if he's lucky, get one.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's gonna it's such a big part of it. All right, real quick. Each day we're gonna kind of tap into the 4 Super Bowls of the past. All right.
Yeah. Do a little
David
history.
brought it up. And this was New Orleans a long time ago. 1981, January. And this was the Eagles' descent on the Superdome. Eagles and Raiders. So take a look at it. This is
do some highlights.
what happened in 1981.
Yeah, this is also brought to us by Rite Aid Back in the Day Moment. We're going to tie that in with this.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
So let me pull it up here. We'll get it ready.
He must not have had one ready.
No, I just thought that we were doing
I
this. It'd
actually
be
like that. Well, no, I think
it's
you're
like a
right about
good-
that.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
good connection.
You can't roll with me there?
Well, normal, I'm the first one to attack him.
Yeah, you tried to cook me there.
First one I'm to attack him. But
Yeah, you
he's
tried.
done a great job today. So I want to make, and they're all positive.
All right.
All right, no
My
busted
bad,
balls
my
today.
bad.
All positive stuff.
All right.
All right, take us back into the time warp. This was Eagles and Raiders, the Super Bowl in New Orleans. We were little kids, and these two weren't even alive.
Mm-mm.
I see the picture.
5th, 1981. America welcomes home 52 of its bravest amid the color and excitement of Super Bowl 50.
Voice of God.
There's nothing like that voice.
Put up full screen. It's
Super Sunday, what a day. I can't
Super
believe
Sunday.
it. I can't believe it. It's like a dream come true.
Lester Hayes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the stick
Yes, we're going to win.
Yeah.
We are going to win, no question.
Confident champions of the American football.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Facetta, as soon as you hear his voice, you're just like, oh, man. This is so
It feels football, exudes football, right?
good.
Like, that's what it does.
Yes. Yeah, ready? We get the 130 mark, maybe?
What do we got? Birds? Oh, Dick Vermeil.
This was all new to the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles, since Dick Vermeil had molded a winner out of a former loser. Because their personality mirrored his discipline and determination, these Eagles were often given more credit for being hard workers than good football players. However, in November, these tough Eagles had beaten the Raiders 10-7, mainly by sacking Jim Plunkett 8 times.
Amazing stuff. You remember John Matuzak? He was a crazy character. There's stories about him just getting all liquored up on Bourbon Street, but he had some words.
They were fighting. They were getting fights and drinking and marauding.
Super Bowl 15.
They were like Raiders.
Well, I learned that from getting close to Jaworski and knocking him down a couple times that he wears English leather. Jerry Sizemore wears Aramis. And that guy, Pete Perot, that second-year guy from Southwest Louisiana, he doesn't wear any cologne. He doesn't even use deodorant, I don't think.
They were out of their minds.
They were out of their minds.
They were crazy. Matuzak. Oh, my God. Petey Perot. Petey Perot stinks.
I don't even remember that name.
We only have 60 minutes to get it done, so no sense in waste. Start on the first play and give it everything you got on every snap, huh? Good luck to all of you, huh? Here we go.
Fired up. Start on that
And Super Bowl 15 is upon us.
third play. It only took 3 plays for things to go south a little bit.
Do you remember? I don't remember the game. I remember vaguely the game. I remember the NFC Championship game against Dallas. The Super Bowl, oddly, I don't really have many.
One play I remember. You'll see it.
The holding?
No.
I remember the callback. I remember.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The call back the touchdown, being upset. But I mean, we were little.
On the game's third play, Dick Vermeil called
Double base pass 46-47, check with me.
for Vermeil and his coaching staff in the press box above. It proved to be a play-action pass that they immediately regretted.
Play fake. Back is Jaworski with time to throw.
He's got Spag.
Drills one. Intercepted. Rob Martin.
Nothing.
Hey, went cover 6 in the
George was able to live here
linebacker.
after that game.
He ends up throwing.
He ends
up throwing 3 picks in this game.
Nothing. How in the world did Jaws become a mogul in Philadelphia throwing that first play? It's like, could you imagine if it was Donovan?
Oh, he's cooked. He's done.
Donovan's gonna have golf courses. Boom.
Oh yeah.
That was a horrible throw.
Horrible. Like they do.
He's talking about telegramming it. Yo, Jaws, I didn't realize how bad that throw was.
Or they do a whole breakdown because this video is like 20 something. They do a whole breakdown where if he would have just lofted it over the linebackers, it was wide open, and he tried to gun it between 2 of them, and
just fed the defense.
Because you hear Vermeil's like he's got
Ronnie,
Spags.
no,
It's like, oh, Ronnie, no.
Oh man.
Oh my God, Jaws. You know what's funny? He's the best Jaws, right? We love Jaws.
Yeah.
I don't have any recollection of him as the real knowledge of him as quarterback.
It's weird. My real recollection of him is just getting sacked
Yeah,
a lot. Just repeatedly sacked.
Lawrence Taylor just eating him up.
Eating him up and all that. But like that throw was horrible.
So that turns into the first touchdown of the game.
3rd and goal on the 2. Plunkett drops back to pass. Steps up. He looks. Over the middle. He's got it. Touchdown Raiders! It's caught by Cliff Branch. A 2-yard touchdown pass. Plunkett threw it almost like a dart.
Look how slow that looks, though. It's amazing,
So
man.
slow, yeah.
Right? Like, it looks so slow.
That ball took forever.
Like, the game, like, really?
Like 8 yards.
Just to drop back.
Yeah.
Like you put Jim Plunkett next to Lamar Jackson.
Oh, my gosh.
My God. That's incredible, man.
So I think next up is the TD that's called back that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, let's look at that one. I want to see that.
3rd and long. The Raiders in their 4-2-5. Back to pass. Now goes Jaworski. Looking, being chased out of the pocket to the right. He's got running room. Directing play.
Yeah.
Going deep. A bomb to the end zone.
Great throw.
He got it. Touchdown, Rodney. Oh, we got a penalty. Oh,
His little hesitation step that he did.
That was a nice throw.
It was
On
like
the
a
money,
nice little
Jones. Put
move
that
there,
on the
yeah.
money.
Yeah. Of course, the assistant coach is like, there's a flag down. Who was it? It's Carmichael for illegal motion.
Oh, no.
Or a false start, one of the two, I forget. But yeah, it's Carmichael.
And it's called back. You call that back.
Yeah.
And that's brutal.
Nick's next play is the one I remember. I think you'll remember it.
Everything that could go right did go right.
drop back. Here comes the rush. Steps up. Can't find anybody yet. Takes off running to the left. Throws on the move. And it's caught by King at the 40. King takes over the 50.
Kenny King.
Yeah, I remember.
The pass covered 80 yards. A Super Bowl record.
Touchdown Raiders.
Super Bowl record.
How did that play go for 80 yards? That's another thing. Like, we're talking about prehistoric. How did that play go for 80 yards?
There's no safety helmet at all, I guess.
Right. Like, what kind of defense were you in? And they were playing a 3-4. Like, they're 3-4 base defense. Like, well, how did a little dump off to the back go for 80?
Right. Vermeil tries to get the guys riled up here.
Let me say it.
Coach, we got plenty of time and we're moving the ball well. Just we've given them a couple things. We just keep our heads and everything is fine as far as the game plan. Nothing to matter at all.
Yeah.
But not all was well with the Eagle game plan. Oakland's nose guard, Reggie Kinlaw, number 62, was personally shutting down Philadelphia's prize running attack.
Then now it'll be David Carter.
Yeah, right.
Up the gut, personally shutting down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. All right, enough of that one. They lost.
Yeah.
All right. That was the last time. We need to vanquish New Orleans. All right?
New Orleans owes us.
New Orleans does owe us.
Yes.
All right?
I agree.
This is
our
we
time.
come back all these years later to plant the flag. Eagles come back and then win in New Orleans. And remember, they celebrated crazily against Dallas. They went to New Orleans. They were tight. It's the opposite this year.
Yeah, Nick's got the laser focus.
No celebrate. Sirianni greater than Vermeil.
Do you know it's a
All
crazy?
right, I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in.
You know it's a crazy connection. The Eagles are the Avengers because they always lose the first time around, whether it was against Tom Brady, New Orleans, or Patrick Mahomes. And then they come back in the second game and they always win.
I like
the Eagles are the Avengers.
I like that. I don't even, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And they're the Dragon Slayers.
The Dragon Slayers,
Yes.
yes.
All right. Listen, all day long, we got you covered. Okay. Don't forget, we'll have 2 shows from the Eagles, 2:00, and then this evening after media night. All right. The big deal. So we got you covered. Go to allphly.com. We got the YouTube channel. So make sure you're hanging with us all week long. That's going to do it for us today. We'll give you some insight on where we're going to be all week tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy it. Super Monday in the books. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Birds. Go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.